Tangwe Doji Shajer Zongchong, Jinja Moto Doja Bongjamba, Serja Lombo Tower Jibeko, Shajer Jabba Jadong Guzon Zar. Dorjin Chanjin Telo Naruta, Mabamala Chuja Gambo Ba, Pamodraba Jawan Dugomba, Kajulama Namje Da Jonje, Dananda Zera Damje, the Lama Labo Laya Jizo. Lobson Yuntin Jamzung Alawan, Tindre Donjin Rebekele Zo. Dage Lo Chizon Roar Sinja Labdosor, Chu Lamton Roar Sinja Labdosor, Lam Truva Sebra Sinja Labdos, Truva Yizan Javara Sinja Labdosor. Gange Denjin de Waranjong, Gapa me ba je, me ba je ba me ba ta, me ba wa me ba ro, me ba ta de to me du je me, du ba nye shi shi den ba. Zubo zanje mananje, tamba de la janzar de, zhen xin zawe la ma ji je, gu zong do je sin la da da, da ge ju lan pe de. Da ge den ba dan sim jin je, dong jia jin ban zhe ba xin je la de zo. Nangka tang nyambe simjin tamji dinde la nami bayang daba zubu sanji je gomang rambo je tobar sha. Di je de tambe je kanki sinde to nyamse lawang jibo nyambe samba sanju je de simji ba tang. Je de chu nimbe kunju de kunlong manar be kun simbar nsal. De la kang simbar sawe chu ne. Tuwang ni ba rina shire. Teni jinzebe tamchi gongpa jikpa te re.
Cultivated motivation, thinking I shall establish all sentient beings limitless as space in the state of unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. And so with a motivation of bodhicitta, listen to the Dharma and engage in the practice of the Dharma. So in this way, the one who receives the Dharma and explains the Dharma should cultivate an unmistaken motivation. And the Dharma that we are listening to is the teaching given by the Drigung Ratna Sri, Jikten Sumgön, and it is called the Buddha's Single Intention or the Gong Chik.
Alright, tini ta tanang daja gatumba lan chupar juba te gong shu simbare. Chertang chupar juba shibande gupa kang resina. Tene rani je sunam, zomba rani je sunam sabatang, zomba rani je zamba deso. La parche manjawan thar simba yoya tandak guchi yo sungko yore. Dani de ti tampechu gongba jikba de sungba po jikten sumjung gomba ri de dani tsoro yikto longu ne dana nangking de dani jingha hiram ju ne kong re. Teni kong tabalan tsuna teni jirtang kuna chung chung kapsune teni nangba tsanjibe chuga bakcha zambo yoba teni pachir gonlo chukchik zam labdine teni kongla yigen drwa lokba zomba la soba tamche gangla pe pertusungwa tanda chandoa tene gonglo chubdun sa la labdune tene par ngepe ba shihondo lama da tela soba ka lama kebishini jinda mambo tinze lama
Par ngepe ba shina?
Par ngepe ba shi lama jik tsin rindoa Kong lamak tsi.
Palnge pepa.
Palnge pepa. Teni siso chupanjik tin sumjung gumdu na yongte Teni ta Choban Jikten Sumgön ke lom tokji seje nare korji zo cherde teni ta tara tamchi gomba chikban du zo pacher lo chukjik zam gareng de zam yu ba zam zena yigel triyo ba ta Choban Jikten Sumgön gombo ke ta sumchu mambo sungba ta zo tsar nan tsar de Drigung Tendagology yung doa.
So this morning we completed talking about those words of homage towards our teacher, the Buddha, Shakyamuni. And then, so the reason for that is so that the author of the text accumulates merit, and so that no obstacles will arise during the composition of this text, and it will be completed without obstacles. And so the one who taught Buddha's single intention, the Gong Chik, was Lord Jikten Sumgön. Then the one who recorded it, the one who wrote those teachings down, was his attendant Sherab Chungnim. And Sherab Chungnim, when he was very young already, he possessed positive imprints of the Buddha Dharma. At the age of 11, he already was adept at writing and reciting and composing a text. At the age of 17, he received teachings from the Lama Bal Nyebeba, and then also became a heart son, a principal disciple in the retinue of Lord Jikten Sumgön, and he received his teachings. And so then the Gong Chik, it took him around 11 years to write it all down. So it was Sherab Chungnim who wrote it down. Teachings are Jikten Sumgön's teachings, but Sherab Chungnim compiled the many teachings of Lord Jikten Sumgön into this work.
Then the order that Choban Jikten Sumgön gombola chupar jobare de temi usa tukje jenkor de song mandi shij ngobo jatawas tamje zigba kunchin chuje nyami ndogong renjin chansalo song ta temi usa temi sibate nyumba de hizjeba bakcha de jeba pangwachani drmami bas teni usarbate pangzan tada pangna teni topa yung topu jinkor yung su zoba tel ko yorwa de tab to jinkor to teni mandi shizung bo chetawa shibate chirtang de sanje dang twimba ke thoni chupar jong kondo tenzang 다 Choban Jikten Sumgön gombola chetawa zikbu chimbadan jinhiba chimbi ishi kanda jeta jinhin chimbi ishi ni yudu dambote chetawa chimbi ishi de dinknowa mandi shizung bo chetawa tamche zikba zidu jinhiba chimbi ishi tene nelo kuchu tamje mandi saya te paja shabla ma kharna de sare nelo tara nguboke zogne dene namchin ke parke te kandar shizukang chu chara nelo mandi ba yongsu zoba chimba teyang timder jelam chimba enzang tene yongdan da ola chobaram bachela Tinder tarsin rugongba shodwa teta winzang kunchin chuji jes kunchin hibade tam manchi hizuk kang chu 다 만침바 미바 용수 줘봐 신 바티차니 근친 시다가 여러와 간다르 그룹 그 동군 탐진 침바 데라 근친스 다 대답에 되네 냠미 로고런시 데라 되네 차차로 손줘봐 줘봐레스
And then next in the text there is a praise or an homage to Lord Jikten Sumgön. So in there it says, I pay homage to Lord Drigung, who in the mandala of the stainless luminous mind knows unmistakably the essence of all knowable things and sees them just as they are. Homage to Lord Drigung Ratna Shri. First, the stainless luminous mind, the mandala of the stainless luminous mind. So stainless means that he's free of the obscurations of afflictive emotions and the subtle obscurations to omniscience and all their habitual imprints. So that's the meaning of stainless or immaculate. Then luminous means that he has abandoned all that is to be abandoned, and therefore his mind is a perfect mandala, a mandala of perfect realization. That's the realization aspect is the luminosity. So within this mandala of his mind, he had realized things, all knowable things unmistakably, the essence of all knowable things unmistakably. And so this praise actually accords also with the praise made to the Buddha previously. And so it is a praise to these enlightened qualities of a Buddha who possesses two kinds of knowledge, and that is, or wisdom. And the first one is the knowledge that knows all things as they are. And second, it is to know things in its entirety, in its various instances. So the first part of the praise where it says, you know the essence of all knowable things mistakenly, like supremely, that means that he sees things as he sees things in their extent, all the things that there are. So this knowledge. He sees things as they are. He sees the nature, the essence of all things clearly. And then the second part, which those two are actually connected, seeing things as they are in their extent, in the various instances, is a second kind of knowledge. Seeing the great variety of things in their coarse and subtle aspects. So he knows everything. He's the omniscient Lord, it says, of independence. He is known as the Dharma Lord Jikten, the master of interdependence. Master of interdependence who knows all things as they are. So that's another name for the omniscient one.
Jarwa choke sharne sungba yeso. Ndi kapsu jarwa te tene chopanji ti sumjung gombola ko yorwa. 담추 첸파 투몽 마인 바스 데네 담부주 제발다 봐봐 라바르도지 투몽 마인 바게 드라 망보제 송요바리 송라 훈든 제바이 제비 이처바미 장스 단들라 훈드 신데 해장긴직 훈드 세다 투몽 마인 부추트 상웅바 사포지네 사포 사바르 신긴 데다고 고아 니랭도 훈드 제베 증훈 당아 담보 훈드 진데 해티니 만도르와 데사레 훈든 제베 이처바미 장세드 따라 다 담배추 투몽 마인 바 드란제 야바 빠드미 바 요레스 디낭니 데니 몽베 딘바 중제 잠시 저소 다몽바데 징하시라면 공개 킹종나네 손네 저현가 현한테 용거요사레 데 강다량다 사바다 자치비추 빠드메바 송야바티나니 데니 공가다 중제 잠 저기인 손다 데 좀버 담자와
So then next is the commitment to compose this text. And so this is written down by Sherab Chungde. And so he says that these teachings were spoken from the mouth of the Supreme Victorious One. So here, sorry. So here, Supreme, the Victorious One refers to Jikten Sumgön. And so then he goes on saying, and his teachings came from the Omniscient One, were unique and were many. And so then he speaks in like this self-humbling way. So Sherab Chungde speaks in a self-humbling way, and he says that of all these vast and profound and unique teachings, these inconceivable teachings that Jikten Sumgön had given, of all these teachings, with my ignorant mind, I'm going to write down just a few.
Tatahi Hunden Zebi Yitzar Laya Jingdoa Tetang Kaheke Tela Hunter Yatik Tabla Unter Zer Umbar Sarpo Jane Tin Yaba Telan Jam Trandahik Ni Yonkondo Human Ze Yabatza Main Bag Ze Yab Chutuson and Tsangumbar Sarpo Jin Sawar Dimba Tenadawa Kohosari.
So, and in this line here that we just said, there is this one term that says, so the words that he had, teachings that he had given in the past. So this word in the past is Mön in Tibetan. And so that has been explained in two different ways. One very literally as in the past or previously. And others have explained it as meaning a term, having the meaning of a term that has a similar sound, which is the Tibetan also Mön, but in this case, in a different kind of spelling. But in this case, it would mean to manifest, or to manifestly show. So not just in the past, but actually the teachings that have been manifestly, that have been illuminated by this master.
Yung man cheparsibatere. Datengus yung the chendu tela karistikindosina. Chukun hisang babje nelok tin hibateke yung the thing yore. Nanda kepa nambare to sokusundu Gong Chik Khenpo dawa yongsu zoba deni tinke yore song dana songku yoba rindo deni kantar chukun shisam papchinelo tin hibadala ndrawa tamche ke ndrahye jatang karamba thola chungze mandawa thone ndrahye yongkando tendu nde zangtang nde mazang sen nga zo ke la ya yongko yomare tin chukun shisam papchinelo tin lamdu kunzo ke chu tamje ke shibab nelok yinlok kangimba te tinke yoris te timder kunzo jumde ke tinder chang yori teana yinke tondam ke nelok tombani timder yimbe junsin ke toni chu tamje ke shibab ne 동반이 임베스나 드네 디케 넬로트 띵크 요참 주근 시선 빠진 넬로티 송거요 바래
So then we come to the actual main body of the text that begins with the first Vajra statement. And so it says all the teachings of the Buddha reveal the original state of the fundamental nature. And so many scholars have said that this first statement actually represents the entire essence of the Gong Chik. And yet there are many slightly different ways of commenting just on this verse too. And I cannot say that one of them is better than the other, so when it says all the teachings of the Buddha reveal the original state of the fundamental nature, all phenomena, all conventional relative phenomena are being revealed. Their natural state, their true nature, the true nature of all phenomena is being revealed on the relative level through karma. And the natural state of phenomena is the interdependence of cause and effect. And then likewise, on the ultimate level, the natural state of all things is emptiness. And that is because things are interdependent. That is why they are empty of self-nature. The natural state, the fundamental nature of all phenomena is emptiness. So that is what is shown. And therefore it says all the teachings of the Buddha reveal the original state of the fundamental nature.
Tandi kapsu Tenjing Drigung mato pa chunga yoba mai no seba Diton samna tangdu
Di mato na kare?
Tenjing Drigung mato pas Tinder mai pa ke chunga yoba mai no sedu chukanya yomaris sama Tinder e sungdwa Ditoni samna tangdu perna kunzob ke toni ngaranzo chutamje pensun jekjegla tudeba jekjegla tindeba perna hingdong jegla chongbayina hingdong ke loma de yagala tindeba yaga de hingdong la tindeba hingdong de zawa la tindeba zawa de sabge la tindeba sabge nane yang mecho longsom la soba yongsu zoba chango yoba tanda benma ta andu tene koran timder pinsun chekjila tindu yoba tene sloge sunno ke din Jikten de dang Ngarang so nang chu ke simjin de ni pa la sam na tam ba yin na yang chi ge la tin de yo ba tu de yo ba teni pe na so so ke lak pa ye dang yung serwan de zo tham je yang chi ge la pen sun tu de yo ba tin de yo ba nda bu de Jikten di gang la Martin par cái chu chế thì thanh nhẹ chậm được sang nó tao vậy này yang chỉ là Martin par chỉ dùng mà đấy tiền ra hiện ra sama tìm được cái này vào răng la ngang đề được rồi này vào tí răng thôi đề được vào đấy.
So it is also said that there is not a single phenomenon that does not exist interdependently. So everything is interdependent. And on the relative level, all phenomena depend on one another. For example, in a tree, the leaves depend on the branches, and the branches depend on the tree, on the trunk, and the tree trunk depends on the root. The root depends on the earth, and the earth also depends on fire, water, and wind, the elements. So everything in the outer universe and all inner sentient beings are interdependent, one depending upon the other. Or even just your right hand and your left hand depend on each other. So in this world, there is not a single phenomenon which does not depend on others. Everything is interdependent.
Ngarang so ke namjin de zang ge tap ji shimor tap ji ra wo sam nang da tang ge yo ma ri ma do ke sam no tang du de ni pin sun chi ji la tin de yo ba de de sa ha ko ya le la bon do to ni ha ko to ya ro ji ris de la yin zang pe na ngarang so khang pa hi ba ta ji le sam na dang wa yin na yang de ni cho yake jang teni nalo ke kawa teni kangwa ke ma ye de chama korang su jek jela pinsin ti ne tu ne drop dewa jek rima to ko pinsin matu par pinsin ra male par yinga wala tena ra male par ne dewa je yong me pare tena inza 다 던데게 타니 데니 줌데 시바데야 티토는 조고요. 나랑수 줌데 말라바 시바데 군접 랑 토는 조고요레스. 군접도 저 게와 사발티네 데베 데완종아테 팀데레스 저 메게와 드발티네 데베 Dungharwa Mundu Bachi and Watia, Tim Deris. Korans Tanda when the teen pension teen drop deva, do not drop deba. Tanya Sam to San Tamayana, Tanya Sam to Koram Malabaran in the data of drop deva. Tichani, Teneta Kunzo Jumdeke Tinders enjoying Kubaris.
So normally, we don't really think about this, we don't really examine this. But if we would really think about it, we could actually very easily understand how one thing depends on another. Everything is interdependent. For example, if you have a house, then every part of the house is interdependent. The four walls in the four directions and the pillars inside the foundation, it is all interdependent. And this is what creates the house. So there is nothing that abides without being dependent upon anything else. And this is also why we say karma is unfailing. It's because everything is interdependent on the relative level. On the relative level, when the cause is virtues, the result will be happiness. That's interdependence. And when the cause is non-virtues, the result will be suffering and the things that we do not desire. And that's interdependence. So if we just think about the term itself, but even just anything that we can conceive of, everything is interdependent and unfailingly is interdependent. So that is the interdependence of the relative levels, karma, cause, and effect.
Tani da chorang ngarang zoke nga sine da de zondo ya ga pungbo jindo nga ga zuko sine de la chang chung ba yin yang jiwo ni gang ba gan ta ba de sam no dang du ni charang ngarang zo de arang gom je ba wa ti kaps chik chik la tin de yo ba pin chun ngoni gang ba ngoni kangba par de pinsun chekjil tu de yoba chekjil ra le de yoba tanda cha de yoba re da zecho indu de da bo kunzo kula pinsun chekjil tin de dom de wate kare resena ko kunzo bu zam de korang ke hiwap zenare yindang do yinlong do de da jiris Da hi ke tsai long jik dang ba tin jin ren jo ma to ba chunga yo ba mai na ti ke long ji ma de karisina de sher toni mai pe chunga yo ba mai no ti sher zo jumchin re yen go yo jumchin karisina chama tin re rin do as chama pensun jik jil tin de de ba yin ba jumchin de be na ta toni rin do se ten ra ro yo go yo Timder mayin be chu dodo ji yo na ko lamsang ko toni ri tongba ni ri lab go na lab to ya ka le kha bo ri yin ya pinsun ji ji le tu de ba yin be jimsin le ti ne ta ko lo toni ri se ra tu ndu ran chu ya le la bo yo ri la yin ya tan da ra te ya de mayin ba shi yin ba le chur journey ra te yong go yo ba mayin par Yimba la yimba jikdo ngote yung yo ba. Per na ngarang so zumo nga bote ma ruruk jene te jindu nga su kutsur la ko yorwa kutsur. Ta choro kutsur shibate zumo nga bote jikdi la tin ma ruruk je ba tsam la nga su kutsur si ta ke yor ma to kutsur yo ma re gain sen zumo nga bote re re ginda pa tap tap je cha si so na yang kutsur de garsong mo was. Tenda sam no tang du kutsur sa ya de yang ngarang su lo ba ta ya ba gain sen na korang pinsun jik le tu de ba je la ngarang su ta ya ba zam yin be jim sing ke ta hi zu kang chu tham je to ni ri sin de ra de yang ko yo ba res.
So there's this I, we consider the aggregate of form as me, the self, my body. And so normally when we meditate, we look at this body and we observe it from up from the crown down to the legs, to the feet. And this entire body from the crown from your crown, your head to your feet, all the body parts depend on each other. So that is the nature of the relative. Everything is interdependent in this way. That is the natural state, the fundamental nature of the relative level. So this previous quote said, there is not a single phenomenon which does not depend on other phenomena. And because, then it continues, because all phenomena are interdependent, that is why they are empty of self-nature. So if there would be a phenomenon that is not dependent upon other phenomena and exists solidly on its own, then one couldn't say that it is empty. So things are empty. We can easily understand emptiness in this way. They're empty because they depend upon one another. They're interdependent. And so this is something that is as it is. It is the fundamental nature, which means that it is not that we are transforming something that is not that way into that, but we are introducing, what is introduced here is how things actually are in their fundamental nature. For example, the 5 fingers of your hand. If you collect them together, you have a fist. So the 5 fingers interdependently create something that we give the name fist. We call it a fist. But there is no other fist than that, than the 5 fingers coming together. So that when you take each finger separately, there is no fist in any of the fingers. But all the fingers coming together is what we just give the name. We call it, we label that the fist. But really it is nothing else but one thing depending upon the other, an interdependence of 5 fingers. And so this is how we understand the fundamental nature of phenomena.
Tate taw tongdan rikpe ta andu tongdan bala tongba ni le mande patelas tani ngumbolo ke rikpa tukju pa nang de ngumbolo ke rikpa
khare
rikpa tukju pa tukju pa nang de kanda tin jing ren jong was Jikten Jikpa Nang Pangwar Hiprachurpa Dedane Tanjurus Sipi Jamso Gars Titsik Tonda de Karersina Timder in Bejum Sinke Teningubonda Tamjila Jewa Nawa Gawan Cheva Nga Dewang Dunga Lasobak Tenda Nam Yade Teni Kandar Tongbani Rayin ba Hakondu Teni da Tanga Sib Dada Tawa Nga Sib Dada Tawa de Latine Teni Ngala Munduba Dang Chep Dongar Nduba Dang Darsung Dongar Teni Nga Navi Dongar Nga Hib Dongar Nga Jip Dongar Teda tamje le yons zoba da deta dunga ge jamso de le yons zoba garan gris ta da sondo
So then on the ultimate level, nothing transcends emptiness. Nagarjuna said in a text called 16 Lines of Reasoning, he says that because everything is interdependent, when one realizes that everything is interdependent and in this way realizes the empty nature of birth, aging, illness, death, happiness and suffering, everything, then one transcends the suffering of the view of a self, this concept, this sense of me. And so this sense of me experiences the suffering of encountering what one does not want to encounter, and then the suffering of separating from what one wants to have, the suffering of sickness and the suffering of death and suffering of fear and so forth. So the person who realizes the empty nature of all these will transcend or cross the ocean of suffering.
Timder kihibab zenari tele toni kihibab de hako toni kihibab shibanda yang tongba hibatela gambo ba ke te songre luze ke tongba tang hi ke tongba so ni song do de luze ke tongba de yang dota cha de yu zang hi ke tongba de la ngu zong go yore hi ke tongba de ganang ji ri shu ba ina de ne zhe qin sara ha ke du ne ta pa nang ke ran yin la song ye du ma ne ko ta so pa sardo che taba no zu ne che zoju jam ne taba dina che ba ma yin ba pang da top ngu bo ga yang mi so hi ba du mu ngo la pa pang yo ya ji dang chul lin yong ya je pang lang yong su za da wa ji ri si de da pang lang yong su da wa de la de ne yi la jar mi si da dan do si ben zimba xin jing ke zimba yong su da ndu de la yi la jar mi 차자 진보네서 된저 그 돈이들 차자 진보 신 돈이 땅 거라 일라 참미 차자 진보네서 레버 강당 레와 마지 직송 네갑서 레버 강의 단단 돈이 오 참 신바데다 용서 가고 요리스 돈다 데려와
So then there's the fundamental nature of interdependence, the fundamental nature of emptiness. Regarding the fundamental nature of emptiness, Kyobpa had also said that there is the intellectual or the mentally kind of fabricated emptiness, and then there is the emptiness of the fundamental nature. And so the intellectual or mentally fabricated emptiness is also just intellectual imputation. What we really need to recognize is the emptiness of the fundamental nature. And with regard to this, the Siddha Masaraha had said, so things are primordially, originally pure, the nature of space. That means that they are not fabricated, they're not made pure and new. They already are pure in their original state. And therefore he says, therefore there is nothing to be abandoned and nothing to gain. There is no thought of a label of arises in the mind of this is, or that is it. And this state of emptiness is what we call Mahamudra, that is devoid of any hopes of a fruition, of a result. So even the concept, this clinging concept of this is emptiness, is abandoned.
Ta de tabke simba da trawa dewa rewa tang jolo topa zenare de tab redo tondam de redo yongs traba de tab je chungaina tene telo ba ke redo kundar tab japon cho sonya ta nenga te chayong yoris tan dendra songaina tene tang arang zu ge chugun chutamji ge hiwa nelo yang da ba de de tone ko to ko yobaris tendra main ba yobung bo che pakka yaba zamla toni isin ta ba ina tene da ta tongmanila tani na zelanda ta tongmanila ta tang de nor somaris tene tena yansa tene de chemta la kondo yuzang de toni yanda mari lok seb toni ri lok seb toni nangke yang chemta la korwa yinzang kyung kare yong yorisina tang arang sung ko ala yang jewa len go ya ji cha yong go ro ma do ke ko ala thaya ge Jolan Roto me pares. That tenda in zang, da dara. Hizu Chile Tony Shibade, he was Korang Watch and Tony Gayam Batarang, then Shake Paris, the cups.
So here, this emptiness of the fundamental nature is free of all mental grasping, free of any hopes for a result, and free of any fear with regard to the cause. So the ultimate is devoid of hopes and fears. Kyobpa had said, being without hopes and fears is the supreme king of views. That's the crucial point here. So this is the true nature, the fundamental nature of all phenomena. So now if we were to take a real object that we think is a real object and call its mere negation emptiness, then such emptiness, viewing emptiness in this way would be mistaken. And actually such negation would lead to the extreme of nihilism. And that is not true emptiness. It is mentally fabricated emptiness. And within mentally fabricated emptiness, it is the falling into the view of nihilism. And the fault that comes from that is that one again will take birth within samsara. Such emptiness will not become a cause of becoming liberated from samsara. So that is why here we must, in this context, must understand the true essence of phenomena, which is the empty nature of the fundamental. So the empty essence of the fundamental nature.
Then his Tony Deang Ngobokangaronga Pakan and Mepas in the T-shirt of Tony is in the local Ryan Wando. Then the sun of the Koni Tiwoni are dead and our Tonyon Bana, he did a bit of Kosomaina, Deang took me Paris. Then the me by Inzan, Tony Ishibate, no one lost Jabajim, Miri, Maransuk, no one. No one there, none Zambonde, similar Lendu. Then the same Denny, Korantumbani imba. Tanaha go yoris. The Gypsy Malareba get around son yuri. Now our rank is Simni la song. Simni Tumbar Hipper G song that. Ko sem korang ke silok zena sem korang de toni ki hibap cha de yoba tanraji song gwa da tena inza kam dini chukun shi sa babjin ne lo tin sen ya de jumsin kan re siba na dini zoba sanji jumdin de des chu tamji ke siba ba konde siba bo da ji rewe sina mares Teni chu tamji ke sipapo korang sipapo jindu mi pare gam ji thuk mi pare dam tanda gitwa ina ya deang kayang mares ta kayang mayin ba de gare sina sanje jomdin de jipapo ji thuk yu ba ina anda mi na yanda Korang million dawote ngarang so kamsong korwa ke jamso zenari gantare nisin zin bin yinzin dale droba tapdi ya de korang ke tamja dawo zenari korang ke tuk ndumba dawo tere de indu de dar drobar sibala da chimba nigi ishi ke zay indu jetan chimba da jinhin chimba ishi ke zay indu His Kyobpa never Korang Ngola, Tini Timdrum Malatzam the Ned Yobata, Timdrum Malatzam de Moton do Tony Kiwa Brown and Ned Yoba, Te ha gone to Torto Yoba, Te Tini Gong de Then Sanje Jumdine Tangaranzola, Chukun Hisa Paginello, Tin Son, that the Raven at certain over resort.
So the fundamental nature of all phenomena is emptiness. So therefore, it is mistaken to negate them, to reject them. But then also, the way this empty nature should be understood is also not in the sense of, for example, if you're like digging in the ground, in the earth, and reveal an earth treasure from the ground, it's also not suitable to see it that way. It's also not like that. So, because it's nothing that is revealed that has not been there before. What it is, emptiness is actually nothing else but all of our appearances, all of our perceptions. And appearances depend on the mind. How we see things depends on our own mind. And that mind itself is empty. Milarepa had said that recognize that appearances are your mind, and mind is empty, self-nature. So mind, the fundamental nature of the mind is emptiness. So all the teachings of the Buddha reveal the original state of the fundamental nature. When the Buddha, the perfectly complete Buddha, gave teachings, you might wonder, is he someone who had created all this phenomena in samsara and nirvana? And that is not the case. And if it's not the case, is it because he doesn't want to be the creator of all phenomena, or is it because he is unable to be the creator of all phenomena? So it's none of that. It's not about whether or not the Buddha can or cannot be the creator of all things. But the Buddha's goal, the Buddha's intention, is to liberate sentient beings from the ocean of the three realms of samsara, to liberate them from dualistic grasping. And that is his commitment, that is his intention. And with that intention, he gave methods to liberate sentient beings. And he saw these with the two kinds of wisdom, of knowing things as they are and knowing all things in their variety. And seeing things as they are, the Buddha taught. He saw that things are interdependently related, and that therefore their fundamental nature is emptiness. And because of that, because everything is merely interdependent and therefore empty, therefore beings can become liberated. And so because of what he saw, he taught how things really are. So therefore all the teachings of the Buddha reveal the original state of the fundamental nature.
Tene dana Gong Chik na yinge Choban Jikten Sumgön gombo ge yinge chula meme bana chuji yangsa le droba sonso data which in bechani jibapo ndongkin ke ndongkin ta jibapo yobana watamje la junju badang meba nang yoba maris Sanje Jumdin de jibapo mari sendu Tesolo junju ko yoba mari then yina yangta chu tamje ke hiwab dolok drabate Koran nguyu netsur gangin bate timdu tani ta dedje Sanje Jumdin de teang dolok jungune gangda gangin batindu ta jibapo taweje tanda mayin ba hibzi ke kamla je tartim bate tad thinking je tanda je reis ta tin tanda ke hiwab tela dala Untanamji ke longji changdo andere untanamji den gombo jamba kenze bo ke dara untanamji gombo ja sambang gombo kenze parwa tinandna
untanamji unta ming di hakuno untanamji
pacher
komanyong
da sabacha de jure ta kantar ti long de mari donda nge hian ta tara hiwab ge tongni sendwa de la meng namrang ge toni debini yangda anta yangda banta sima minba don damba chu ji yin danda sen meng namrang de ta che tang ge yobaris danda ge hiwab ge toni de la
So, as I mentioned before, in the morning, Jikten Sumgön in this teaching is not, how to say, like humiliating other dharmas, and therefore his teaching is free from being an abyss that you can fall down from. He does not deny other dharma, and also he is not a creator of any dharma. But what his first verse here shows is that the Buddha merely showed the true nature of things, of phenomena as they are in their natural state. And with this knowledge, the Buddha taught the Dharma, taught the sutras and so forth, but he didn't create them. He's someone who knew how things really are and showed how things really are in their natural state. There's a text by Maitreya where he said that this empty fundamental nature is given different names. It is called suchness. It is called the final truth. It is called being free from characteristics. It is called the ultimate truth, and it is called the Dharma Dhatu.
Tate tabi hiwab de ha ko na teni kare yung ko yoresina teni ta mare ba ke chuba ke ngarang so ni ba ke jung yong su zo ba dan jar xin teni chimba ni la su ba ke lek ba ke yung de yong su zo ba zo ne teni ngarang so kantar sanje chi kompang senare ta tengun de chi ke yores tenra ke guchi ti chirna teni tara de hiwab de ke konne tang te atere la ter tingo ke junsin atere lan rebe ate arang res.
So when one realizes the fundamental nature of all things, one will separate from ignorance and all flaws, all faults, and one will perfect all good qualities, the two kinds of wisdom, and one will actualize the state of Buddhahood. So this is the fundamental nature, the original state of all phenomena. It is the final fruition.
Chupong je zhe sanje zhe par jie song. Dan de toni ate kares tambo da chupong se je te keng odu je hyogdo. Chupong se je de la ngun zin dang bin zhe da tam je ke ngun zin dang man da wa mambo yong ke yore. Sanje jom din de ke chupong je zhe yidong ke chung ko ko ris de hyablo la yong ke yore je dang song ro da tin nang ke chupong je zhe yidong de ke gare ri che gan da la ja ke yore si no nga he ke zige dong cha pa je dong cha zhou yin sa yo dan da la chupong re re za ya jik jang gachi ge yang de langbochi top chimbo tana langbochi ge tani korang ke gachi chakcha de korang jab nangi yondu tana ge langbochi ge tana ge japchi chigla tani yang chupong jig zidang dang tani da tela soba ke chupong de zidang da mandawa mangbo yoris chupong ke che njodang de gang dar yang di kapso kare songko yori hubayina chu chupong bo jeche yidong songdo ya de sanje drupa sanje ji gongpang drupa tapso jigri song da jigri song di kapso desa dambo de jirna
di lampo che khare sumsong
lampo che la jabla de liwam ngindu liwam ta korang ke japse korang ke chakse je yorwa chakse je lampo che ke chak korang ke nuba ke ta tikse je yorwa tenda jigla yang chupong re re zedang da tani yang nakza yo ta chola zena zedang mambo yore de da yong yin da nan dan pa ja ko nakza yo ha so nakza da nakza de
ye de nakza
tenda ke che ke tang e tara de la ba lombo che korang ke tik se
yine an lampo che pena boti keti shitom kharthu bire la puto
mare jete yidong khartha mara den jete yidong nang ke da re yin de zan ko ke chakse de le jete yidong nang je zze
chigra
tanda zim kya yores zidang de
tani lampo che chitom go yorwa keti shitom
la chese
tani chuki pungbo keti shitom yona tani lampo che re khana tani lampo che keti shitom yorwa tindore mare
de anda za sarewa langbo che jigla de jedang ke langbo che insa mare de langbo che de mixan raw nge top che chan ya asari tin so tanda langbo che khaye ke palang ala phando ganda tanda langbo che de korang jabla kache chakcha ngi yorwa kache chakcha ngi yodu de korang ke chakche de zam jigla teni da chuchu pongbo jig sin jogris tra devindo
okay so then we come to the second Vajra statement which says the 84,000 collections of the teachings are all one as a method of achieving Buddhahood. And so this also is recognized by many scholars in different ways. But anyways, the Buddha taught 84,000 heaps of Dharma teachings, or collections of Dharma teachings. So they're counted in different ways. Sometimes they are divided into verse collections of 6,000 each. And each collection consists representing one heap of Dharma, one collection of Dharma. Or, for example, sometimes there's this example given of an elephant who, like kind of a normal elephant, like a special elephant who can carry a heavy load. And so the maximum amount that the elephant can carry is one load. So that's a heap. So let's say this one heap is one load that an elephant can carry. So that's just an explanation of the term heap or here collections. And so in any case, the 84,000 different Dharma teachings are all singular in being a method of achieving Buddhahood.
다 추풍 제트 유동 대 띵고야 그 점진의 가르스나 Numong Jet Yutong Nimbola Ting Baris. Numong Jet Yutong de Tangaran Sola Songkong de Jo Marepa Teni Chakba Dangwa Telasobake Numong Ba Jet Yutong. Tege Numong Ba Jet Yutong de la Nimbola Teni Tarate Chuchipombo Tonta. Jet Yutong the Ting Baris, Chupon Jet Yutong the Ting Baris.
And so the reason for teaching 84,000 Dharma teachings, collections of teachings, is because they are an antidote to the 84,000 afflictive emotions. And the source of these is ignorance and attachment and aversion. So these lead to the 84,000 afflictions, and the 84,000 collections of the teachings are an antidote to these 84,000 afflictions.
Nandi kapsu jirtan yin ki da yiba ndo ji hyuba ina. Tini chupong jet yutong somba. Teda tene Kayang Rawa Chila Hyogdu, Tene Sanje Gompa Toguri, Senatanda Yiba Yori, Sondoa. Yin Yang, Ta Joban Jikten Sumgön Ki Yigong Darandu, Ta Sanje Chuke, Nelok Zena Del Martin Ban Sondu. Chupon Jet Yutong de Ganza Cheke. Nyamsaling go yore song. Dig Jumsing Garrisina, Ganza Chik Jula, Numong Jet Yutong Yores. Ganza Soso Nyamsalang, Tenda Maimba, Teni Ganza Chik Jula, Teni Numong Jet Yutong the Yuba Inzang, Tachi Pumba Tonta, Jet Yutong the Nyamsaling go yore song tickups. Jumsing Tina, Teni Chupong Jet, Sanjay to Jake, the Nandon Tail.
And so it says that some people say that so if one enters any one of the 84,000 teachings that were taught, then that by entering any one of them, one would attain in the state of enlightenment. But Jikten Sumgön says that it is because the Buddha taught the fundamental nature of all phenomena, that any single person must practice all the 84,000 teachings, and that is because within a person's mind, the 84,000 afflictions are present. And because the 84,000 afflictions are present within a single person's mind, a single person has to practice the 84,000 collections of Dharma teachings. And therefore he says the 84,000 collections of the teachings are all one as a method of achieving Buddhahood.
That's one of the Chupong Jet Yutong the Nyams Lindu, then Sosok Jula, Parad Simba, Jet Yutong Zo. Then Sosok Jula, Parad Simba, Jet Yutong Zodi, Dingin go Jet Yutong top. Dingin go Jet Yutong Tabala Dinde, then Tablan Kepi Ishi, Jet Yutong Mudunjaba, the now sound. Ta Tsama go Jumdela Ton Samna Tang by in the young Jamasa Palan Devon May Patang, just Sepa the Chu Mazawa in Zang, then Jokansak and Devate Jokuyo Pate, Tlaranitzer Think you Zang, that he gonna hear the Tinder Malapa Tanya Tanya Kunzup the young. Jumdek Malaba Siba, Tonda de Tana Yonkodoga.
And so now, since we have to practice the 84,000 Dharma teachings, by practicing the 84,000 Dharma teachings, it is said that the 84,000 perfections are completed within the mind. And by completing 84,000 perfections, 84,000 different samadhis will open up, will be attained. And when these are attained, one actualizes 84,000 kinds of skillful wisdom. And so again, this brings us back to interdependence. When we think about karma, when a cause is not created, a result will not come about. And if a cause is created, the result will never be spoiled. This is again related to what we mentioned previously about interdependence, that everything is interdependent, unfailingly. Even a concept on a relative level is unfailing. Karma is unfailing.
Teni gombo pamo triba kete songdo par pamo triba ke sanje tobar jiba la song jumi junur juntur ba song sanje tobar jiba la jumi ba le sanje ko motop to maris jumi junor wa le yang sanje ko motop maris teni juntur wa tela yang sanje ko motop maris teni jo machang wala meje we song jo machang sanje ji komba to jo machang te nenga ta ji ba ran ko to jo machang wala jang sanje ji komba to ko yo mare so teni jo chang la manor wa je jo chang la manor zo ba gu song ta sanje ji komba to ba la jo chang la manor wa je go re song ta de ngu bi shi ba ting ge yo re te de ngu bi shi wa yin ba te pe na choram me to Gong Chik ji go ina me to ndama Gong Chik ji go ina korang je ba la jo chang go wa tangbo ga re jo korang ge ngu ji sang kan yi ba te go ge wa tele timba ji che dang lu dang zhu dang hier dang chap chang go yo wa ta tele so bo korang la cha chang yong ba ina teni da Drive jiwate do mazawari. Drive minpad do mazawari. Jin gay the drawa yong soba, Jin tam parche tam jela jargo yor, de sama koron jonan chun to yorwa, de jiwarsipala. Ta de in zang, chu jupong botong ta chupong jeti yutong song ate, dinner and churang na jig mado nyamni malang ba ina. Teni churanke, Numong na jig madon dorma tapatavi chano yorwa. Tenda in zang, Churang Jula Numong Jeti Yadong de Yuba Inza, Nimbola Chupong Jeti Yadong, Chupong Jeti Yadong de, Nimbola Dinde, Nyamsalama Dine, Tatara Gono Chundo Yate, Re, Tarate, Paradisimba, Dingin Zinja Gon Nazoba, Delatin be Ishije Dine, Ishingo to Jubala Dine, then Tartok Bando Tarsin. Panto Yonsu Zoba Sanje Compound Togo Yores, that therein to Nenga Narang da Gang Gotsu, Ha Gotsu, Roji, Kubaina Digani.
Pagmodupa had said that in order to attain enlightenment, he said you cannot attain enlightenment if you do not have the cause for it, or if the cause is mistaken, or if the cause is deluded or confused, and if causes are incomplete. So in those instances, one cannot attain enlightenment. So in order to attain enlightenment, all the causes must be complete and they must be unmistaken. So again, he's just showing how things really are in their natural state, in their fundamental nature. That's just how things are. If you want to just grow a single flower, like a single stalk of flower, even that needs to have all its causes complete. So first you need the cause, which is the seed itself, and then you need various conditions, like you need water and a fertilizer, and you need heat and moisture and so forth. All the conditions have to be complete, and then the result will grow. And if they're complete, then undoubtedly it will grow without any hindrances. And so in this way, one must practice all the 84,000 collections of Dharma teachings. If one doesn't practice them, if one only practices a single one, it is just like you're only taming a single afflictive emotion. But because in your mind stream there are 84,000 different kinds of afflictive emotions, the antidote to those are the 84,000 Dharma teachings. And as I mentioned before, if you practice them, you will gain perfection, you will gain samadhi, and from that you will gain actualization of primordial wisdom. And ultimately, all things that are to be abandoned are abandoned, realization is perfected, and you attain the state of enlightenment. So this is how I myself understand this.
Then that tinker what Tamasuna. Ona Chubon jet Yedon and Zawa Janchuk Sanandu Sondoas. This Janchuk sent the Jipok and Dang the Yinda and Ramadatan Yamin to Goham or some sort of just Sorsi Barwa. Then yes, and that I was calling Go Jerusalem. Chubon jet Yedon Zawa Janchuk Sanandu Shibadan Dugger Janchuk Sandugger. That day, Sarkanda was a journey. Parers the Simba Trupo Yang Zawa Janchuk Sanandu Zayan Wayana. Kadarisina. Did you Janchuk Samadon Yamni Gogumare, part of Simbato Yamni Gogumaris, Betunda Maris? Ona Kadarisina. Churan Jimbaton de Yang Zawa de Janchuk Sam Goyoris, Jimbaton. Jimbatango Yore. Jimbatang wala tenne longjung jonga songo yorwa chutrum songa teyang jedang hyamni yongger de je soso geche zogolo chutrum songa teyang janchok sem ge jisingo yoris chutrum songa zawa de janchok semris dele tena tene deke debe teyang nekap ge menange tarade Yi don't want Lasoba, Zongziba Lasoba, Rev Mimbatan, Tadok Sanjik and Rev Chango Yorba Sanjik Jochankura Jimba. Then Zuba Gomjetian, Tara, Zuba Kin Zawadote, Janjok Semris. Janjok sang Mazin Zuba de Chunchi Chango Yorotini. Janjok sang Mazin Bag Chutram Dendawajina Yang. Then it's Chutram to Yung Chons in the Halam Chang, Chutram to Yung Chons into Social Pacha younger than again. Kantar Yang, then it's on the Zombateang, Janchok sang this son so in a guy in draw in the type of sinking time you don't drubiala, Janchok Sambatamje, Jang Batamje, Jamson and Jupana, ye guy in draw in the all Simjin don't see Arason, Tin, Penguin Sungova. Sanjok sang sim tarindo, Zungang Gela draw, say a terra. Tiana yig something gombateang, something tiang, Janchok sang singo your matobake. Then Malare Bagsumanayi, Chapu Yuring, Lavi Zongs, Lava the Police Yorita, in a Churang Tumajra, Chiwa Jinji. Call Chapu Shu Junum Bodegri, call Chan Ninja came me, Shirawa came me, the call Chapu Junum Bode, Yabatsan reason, Malare Besonrita. Jana Dorji Depa Manso. Janchok sang Zimazim and Baba Tonde Baina, then it's Jatara Chap Kata Jakata.
Let's
Karse
Karalasang, Cha, Karaja.
Cha wa lam the cha kata jidwa. Tarpul yorimambo. Chana dorji depa mang sidi ko tapa ba jeden. Nella chanjuk sem. Kurjun juyo mara ko chanjuk sem ke ten nyamni chi chi mara nje ko lek wang taratal chi de yora. Tundola. Tenda yinza. Tere gom Japanese ka soyang chanjuk sem zi singors. Shirap nyamslan chokwa shirap je paradisen ba nyamslindu. Shirap deyang chanchok sem ke tsisin songwaina. Shirap de takantar toni ninji ningpo jin se shirap korang gongwa tongbani deyang hizu hilyo bo tongbani de chayong ko yutsa. Kwa de tabaji limba tonen ta chuji chubong jeche yudon zawa chanchok semlende se ke teni samna chartang teni nyamlin zenari ta taraji kwa lingo juri do sams.
So then somebody might respond to this saying that, but also it is said that the root of the 84,000 teachings is bodhicitta. So doesn't that mean that it's enough if you just cultivate bodhicitta and do not practice anything else? However, so the way we should understand this is that, yes, it is true that the root of the 84,000 teachings is bodhicitta. For example, it is also said that the essence of the 6 paramitas is bodhicitta. So that is true, but that doesn't mean that you only cultivate bodhicitta and you do not practice the 6 paramitas. You still have to practice the 6 paramitas, but with bodhicitta. Their essence is bodhicitta, but you still have to practice them. So you still have to practice generosity. But at the root, you need to have bodhicitta. If you practice generosity with bodhicitta, if you're generous, then as a result, you will find wealth. If you practice discipline, ethical discipline, their root also must be bodhicitta. And as a result of that, temporarily you're born as a human being, and among humans you, for example, have a beautiful appearance and so forth, and ultimately you attain enlightenment. And also the root of patience is bodhicitta. If you're practicing patience without bodhicitta, it does not become authentic. It just becomes a kind of like a kind of a forbearance, but not a true authentic patience. And likewise, if you practice ethical discipline without bodhicitta, it becomes something called you're holding your own ascetic discipline as supreme. So it doesn't become authentic ethical discipline. And also when you practice diligence, you must practice it with bodhicitta, because when you practice it with bodhicitta, you do so with great joy and delight. With great delight, you are engaging in the benefit of limitless sentient beings. This is what the bodhisattvas do. With great joy and delight, they go into this ocean of samsara to benefit sentient beings. And also when you practice meditation, you need bodhicitta. Otherwise, Milarepa had said, like a wild deer, like a musk deer, a deer can also stay in caves and in the wilderness. But without bodhicitta, it doesn't lead to anything. Or like there's this like bird that like a crow or something. It just like says wow wow wow, but it doesn't really understand how to practice due to its karma. So it can repeat things. In other words, it can say things, do things, but it doesn't really engage in practice. So when we engage in meditation practice, in any practice, we need to do so with bodhicitta and with discriminating wisdom. or this unity of emptiness and compassion, or the emptiness that has compassion at its core. And also wisdom itself, the pyramid of wisdom, is therefore practiced with bodhicitta. And the essence of wisdom, also as I mentioned, the essence of mind in its natural state is emptiness. So again, it is true that the 84,000 Dharma teachings subsumed within bodhicitta have the root in bodhicitta, but they still need to be practiced with bodhicitta.
Da de yunda dana lomu pawo ke karisung barisina ducha la so malu pa nes gyun den rebe luzong chapar chor song ta kang ta yang ngaran sola ducha la so pa malu pa ne gyun den rebe luzong chapar chors debarin do chors ta di long dong tik ya jar dong go
mare long di yusare yigen la nga yigen ya puchung dong mare yang kya
ya ta tik long dong de latine nga chu kare ha ko go ndok sina ngaran chola nyumong jet yitong sen changka jang de ma jang de ngaran chola nyumong na chi yo de ba ta chi yinda mi de ba chi ri mo dos he chi chong zam dos he chi chong ga he la tomo he chi ba pe na tun ro la na tomo he chi wa yo re ina tun ro la tomo ma to mi pa re sina tun ro la nyumong yo so ba yo re yedala senna he chewa gumsing ges yedala ji bare songwa senna ma do me bare vesna maris per ngaran so ma do cha he chewa wan zu ne dara me do kam la dara ne yore ne nga so do cha ma do he nga so 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 ta wa na nga so do cha le la ju ba garen do hedang do hedang la jirba chado do la jirba ngaja la jirba senna do ta tena ba ta ndu he che jong jin do si ta ngaran sur he che kyu de he che kyu nang che kyu de do cha he che wa cha de yoris ta do cha he che wa de ta do cha me to me ba ma ba ta ran ni chin re ka tap je jin na to do la che ma re be tap je jin na to do la chora dima tambo deba ina chora do chan do es nando yes la gari do chora na hedang do es nando yes rindo tene nyomo yinda da yo ba je ko he che jong re ma do o de inza ti long de ge ta ngaran chula de ge nyomo yong su zo ba yo ba tene chokon do si nyomo yong su zo ba yo ba chen de ta ba za de le chubong je ti ke dong re re yin da ni bo ting go dang go do mo do sina ting go do sin ta tek chod dogo sarwa
so there's a quote here by Acharya Vajra, and he says, since the sickness of absolutely all the desires and so forth are continuously intertwined with the continuum, they pervade the constituents of the body. Now what this quote is saying is that now whether or not we count each and every afflictive emotion of the 84,000, it is not the case that we only have one and not the others. We have them all, just to different degrees. For example, there is some who have more ignorance than other afflictions. For example, animals predominantly are ignorant, but does that mean that an animal only possesses ignorance and none of the other afflictions? That's also not true. They also possess the other afflictions. Or hungry spirits mainly have their strongest affliction is stinginess. But does that mean that they only have stinginess and nothing else? That's also not true. Or as human beings, since we are beings living in the desire realm, our main affliction is desire attachment. But that clearly doesn't mean that we only have attachment. We can understand that by just thinking and looking at our own minds. There's desire, and then just as much as we have desire, we also have anger, and likewise jealousy and pride and stinginess and all of it, just to varying degrees, but we have them all. And our main affliction is just desire. But even if we analyze that from like a logical perspective, like from the perspective of logical reasoning, it is very clear that we have them all. So if, I ask you a question, you give me an honest answer. Do you have attachment, desire? You would say yes. Do you have anger? You would say yes. So we have them all. We have all the other afflictions, just to varying degrees. And so this is what this quotation here is trying to prove. It is trying to show that we possess all of the afflictive emotions. And so because of that, the 84,000 different afflictive emotions, since they are to be abandoned, since we have them all, then do we need an antidote for them? And so then the answer would be yes, we do.
All right, then da sumbate. Dorji song sumbate. Denu jude lam jiramba yin song. Nandala tambo yin jirtang yiba yin rawaji hubayina. Ta denu song the jude ye tamche de durza tak kandar durza mupa wangjasin mupa tate ba yob jimsinke tel tinde tene ndamanda tandabena denu dan jude denu som the jude yet song bare son tandra song ko yobari des ta ranol ndi kap sukaresina jude denu jude lamjiram ba zamri mato durza gang gamu ke tin ya ba zam maris dan dem tambote jorna.
So then we come to the third Vajra statement that says the 3 baskets and the 4 Tantra classes are the stages of the arising of the path. And so this is in response to other people's claim that the 3 baskets and the 4 Tantra classes are paths that accord with the dispositions of the trainees. So in other words, it means that those people claim that the 3 scripture collections and the 4 classes of Tantra are taught. This great variety is taught due to there being a great variety of individuals with a great variety of mental dispositions. And so then the argument here is that this is not the case because the 3 baskets and the 4 Tantra classes are the stages of a single path to traverse by anyone, and not given separately in terms of to suit various mental dispositions.
Nande kapso ko de ndrabeling go isare samsang kanisina perna ta kandar lo do nam yini zonte tene laba churumji laba zo din ndro denu din du teke ndro denu te ting yorwa zo din ta de zo chibakam so tene yin da gongba thumba de chaya de tene insare gongba thumba jena ta ranolo tate ta bache laba churumji laba juza zo chine tin yongkinde ndro denu res de ta tin sa rawo te yang ko kanza de la zo tena kanza de la me ne tin yong ba zam e ma de yong zo ba kanza de arang me yin da le chin ma me ba de ta ba ma yin parwa tene laba ting in je laba juza zo chin don ne tin yongkinde dodi denu rewa teni lapa hirab je lapa zo chin tin ba te ngubi denu rewa te ta denu som te dangs teni de gandu ta jude ye yore jabu ju jubu ju namjur lami ge jus ta de du tenda ge jude ye de da ina jabu ju ina chu da zang da zo jin do ne teni ta nyamni nang yong ba te la jabu jus teni chu da zang da zo si ba de gang la teni nang ge lai namjur yang zo jin dong ki te la jubu ju si pa cher da jaju de juju ni jude oma lan jogri de ndo koni te sa ndabe cha yo hyokchi ani teris teni lunga ge se ju ba teni zhuo zam la din ne lunga se ju ba zang da la su ba tan ye zhuo zam la din ne teni zuo nang ge da namjur zuo jin yong ba te la namjur ju jus da namjur lami ge ju gap su teni tahi yermi la su ba dan da to ne nyam su le yong ba te namjur lami ge ju cha da yor ba ta te ta ju de ye da dang denu som to sumbote ganza chik changjab tabla ting ba yore som ta ganza chik changjab tabla ting ba yin hyön du garesina ganza chik tani sada lamda yundin zobar siba tabla ting ba yin serna tani denu jude lamjiran ba yin som
So how we should understand this here is that we begin the path with the 4 thoughts that turn the mind, and so then we progress to the training of ethical discipline, and the teaching that focuses on the training of ethical discipline is the scripture collection of the Vinaya teachings. So this, we are speaking about the progression of one individual, starting from the 4 thoughts, going to the training of ethical discipline. And the Vinaya not being a separate practice that is completely unrelated to a different kind of individual. So anyone practices ethical discipline. And then from there one progresses to the training of samadhi. And in order to teach samadhi, the scripture collection of the sutras is being taught. And then in order to teach wisdom, the training of wisdom, the Abhidharma teachings are being taught. And so here again, it is a progression of one practitioner who practices them all. And then we come to the 4 classes of Tantra. So first there is the Action Tantrum. And in the beginning, there is a greater emphasis on cleanliness and outer aspects of the practice, hygiene and so on. And so one practices mainly on the basis of these outer aspects. And then there is the second Tantra class, the Performance Tantra, where one still practices mainly on the outer cleanliness level, but also practices the inner deity yoga. So those 2 Tantra classes are referred to as the 2 lower Tantras, due to their emphasis on the outer aspect of practice. And then when we come to the 3rd, the Yoga Tantra, here the outer aspects of body and speech are considered support, but the main focus of the practice is the inner mind. So that's the Yoga Tantra. And then the highest Yoga Tantra is where the focus is internal and one unifies method and wisdom. It is the practice of unification. And so the path of the 3 scripture collections and the 4 classes of Tantra are the method collectively, are the method for one person to attain enlightenment. So they lay out a path for one person to perfect all the qualities of the bhumis and the paths. So they constitute altogether one path to enlightenment.
Teni jachal sambang gumboke tesondo do tang chungu drwatas dorna ton nam yirndus lo tang dimbe tehine namba tamjin chinin topso da deke
Die Lunge ist mal.
pache yojire chora da dode jin na
Dode yang kesam rona.
Do tang chungu drwa tas dorna tone nam yir du
Antidok.
lo de dim de na ba tan chin ni ta dan de kapso teni kare a ko go no sina pena le tambo ba so su chi wo kapso teni ngaran so ke ta lo do na ba yini la so ba ne tin de ta karla gulo ta sobjong la so ba tan je tene teni lam de ten du teni nimbar zo ba la tene teni rem je teni jansem la lab jansem ni teni ndrwa mario sangha la jude la so ba tan je rem je lam ta te ta ba ne yongri zen ti long de dubje te rin do.
So here there's a quote from the Mahayana Sutra Alamkara, where it says, Sutra, Abhidharma, and Vinaya are in brief held to be 4 topics each. The intelligent ones understand these and obtain omniscience. So what this quote is saying is that now in the beginning, we start with the path with the 4 thoughts that turn the mind, and then we get into the practices of Sojong and so forth, the path of the sutra path, and then we enter, having perfected that, we enter the path of Bodhisattvas, and then that's the path of secret mantra, the various classes of Tantra.
All right. Nani da yang da de jing ge long jing do de chula yo sar pa sha de un do de jin ja sa sam bang gu bo ge long jing do un ta nam ji na mi pa la ne tin ne so me me pa ne rab de je me pa la tin ne so me pa ne rab de je de do.
So then there is another quote in the Madhyanta Vibhaga where it says, supported by observation of objects, non-observation of objects arises. Supported by such non-observation, there arises non-observation of an apprehender.
All right. That did long to get that in Jibas to Drokundova. That there's some Yagumendo. Chunkor on chaps chapsan Chandrosan Romaritek. Pachatana Yanra. Because the chapsan Latin and Ross and Disamarini. Jerry.
So, that.
Courage, Mountain here and those Satana Yayas. Come on. That take the tea break at a Pachipa Chadwa. Go on, Jonga.
And then Drag Marava, another truth. Na correct. Can't choose it. Ngaba Shondora.
Ngaba Tulil Kama
Chungara.
Kama Juxum Sando. Fire, right? Oh, yeah.
I see not to mother.
I hear Gosarita. Then I Yabadere. Yabade Chunkar Namson, Kurchto, which is Zan. Dan della Yinke Chuchunkolo, some young Ritin Tate Bala Sumbare, the Nasongo Yoris. In Andicabs, the Chuchunkolo, some day, Cordia Tobak Cheper. Toburan Baji Matoke, Cortate Bar Ritin Tate Bala, Timbate, Tipo Mareso, Sunjete Rindoa. On court chess.
So then we come to Vajra statement number 4. And it says, the 3 wheels of the Dharma show that the realizations of the retinues are dissimilar. And that is a statement in response to people's claim that the Buddha taught the 3 Dharma wheels for the different types of families. So what this is saying here is that the argument is that the Buddha did not teach them for different types of individuals, but depending on the level of their realization. So because their realization is not the same, Buddha gave 3 wheels of Dharma teachings.
Nande Pena Koronga de Zambola Sobala, Diji Chunkor, Korean Bakapso, Teni Kolo de Colocorgite Linsom Locor, Debate Lin Juni Le Des, Tenasongdo, Telegen Songdo. Nande train that taken text Hubina. Da Sanje Chertan Katambodi Chunkor son Tini Chunkor Toma Corndu, not so young Randavola. Katambodi Chunkorni, Koraris, Sunko Yoruba. Nandas Corndu Tini Tambo Tini Dungar Shipper Shas. Tini Kunjong Pangwar Shas. Tini Gobang se Lamju Nyamsulin Zenari. Teta Tony Sungo Yubaris Mare Tambo Dunga and then the Donga was then Kunjong and then Gopa and then Lamla Sobake Tesung Yura Teni Nibatella that Donga Hiparsha Kunjong Powersha so Teni Taba Tambo Tella that Donga Papa Dimbao La Sobatana Papa Gajan at Nasonko Yure. Tenita Sumba, the Depa Sumba the Capso, Depa Sumba Zenari, Lin Sumba the Capso, then Dongar Hipar says Simbena, that Dongar Hipar Sarmis, Dongar Hipar Sarmi, Kunjong Pang to me, La Sobake, Tanawa Dimbate, Depa Juni Goni Timbaris.
Kunjong Pang to me.
Depa Linsom Linsom
Tambotala Donashipa Sami, Patala Donashipa Satunga.
Gobang to Sarva Lamju Tambota Tere Kunzo wants to be Jumdeni to Tinra, Kunzo wants to be Jumdeni te. Kararisina donghar the kunjong ni derwa. Kunzab sin korbak jumde. Nyande ke jumde den gokba tang lamdin rwa. Te ke dimba yet.
Tingi para.
La
Tingi thema som rwa. Thang thambo te.
Thang thambo te la donghar phab dimba kunjong phab dimba gokba phab dimba lam phab dimba as. Ten phaba ke zig yu zang.
Thambo te ra.
Thambo te res. Nipa dine donghar shipar sa kunjong pangwar sa gopa ngun sa lam jule jiwar sa os te rindwa.
Rao da. Tini sumba.
Sumba dila da donghar shipar se simbe na da donghar shipar sarmi kunjong pang tu mi gopa ngun sa sarmi lam jule kana lagu ta jiwa mi sonda. Tata ton sonda.
Te to na shi to me bare rwa. To na shi to me bare to na pangki me kunjong pangki me bare ra. Tinara.
Te
Yeah, so in the beginning, when the Buddha first turned the wheel of Dharma, he gave teachings to the retinue of 5 fortunate ones. He turned the wheel of Dhamma where he taught the 4 noble truths. And he taught these 4 noble truths 3 times in 3 different ways. And it says that these were, so the Buddha taught these accomplishing 12, so the Buddha taught the training of eliminating and accomplishing 12 times by uttering the Dharma of the 4 truths 3 times. So the 3 times of how he uttered the 4 truths are: number 1, when he taught the 4 truths the first time, he said that first, so he explained them in terms of the term noble. So there is the noble truth of suffering, of the origin of suffering, of the cessation and the path. So when he taught suffering and the origin of suffering, he taught the interdependence, cause and effect of samsara on the relative level. So that was the first time he taught. The second time he taught the 4 noble truths was instructional, where he then said, and so therefore you must recognize suffering, and you must abandon the origin of suffering, and you must actualize cessation of suffering by practicing the path. And then when he taught the 4 noble truths the third time, then he said, and then when that is done, when that is recognized and that is practiced, then there is no more suffering to be recognized. There is no more cause to be abandoned, no origin to be abandoned. There is no more path to be practiced, and there is no more cessation to be brought about.
Oh yeah, that counter the Jikten da Sani Yanjer Tikology, Hugi, Sedelte, Mambo, the Jew, and Huno Gosari. In and that train door to Bats and Hubaina, Colo Tamboke, Mimbar Zebaris, Colo Nibake, Dene Shinta means in a Lord of the Lord of Sejiban over
Lomimba.
Lo mi jibaris, colony bag lo the hint of mi jibaris, colosumbag hint of rapt of mi jibaris, and detaton songdoa.
This body?
Colosumbag rapt
Nibadi rapt membera?
Nibadi hint of me. Nibadi
Ashinto. Somebody rapt member. So there's actually much to be said about this verse. So today I will just speak about it briefly, and then we'll speak more about it the next time. But now the sure ripen the minds of disciples. And the second wheel of Dharma was to extremely or exceedingly ripen, mature. And then the third turning of the wheel of Dharma was in order to utterly ripen in the highest way.
Oh, that's not your
Then we stop here today.
The tea break George G. Sonangazo. Tea break with Jesus.
A tea break you said when Chuchini Kapla? Yes, Mari. Yes, Mari. Chuchum, you're not tea break, Chuchini, you can Mari.
Oh, I see. I thought I forgot tea break. Oh, yeah. Tatana Yagni. Oh, Jambar Bave Jedar Jamba Dan Kundo Zombo de Andia. The da Gunju Jizo Dalo Jagan the da Danjera O Janjo Zenjo Rambo Je Maje Bana Jijo Je Ba Nyamba Me Ba Yang Gone Gonda Bewajo. May every being along with the disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ina. Thank you.